All right. So this next clip or segment is going to be talking about the defensive tackles for the Washington football team. So here are the list of defensive tackles that Washington has. DaRon Payne, Jonathan Allen, the Bama boys. Matt Ioannidis, who I will actually not. I'll talk about him a little bit, but just because he went down early in the season with an injury, I want to talk about what he will bring to the team once he is back next year. And Tim Settle, who replaced Matt Ioannidis. So let's talk about these guys. And DaRon Payne and Jonathan Allen, collectively known as the Bama Boys, because they both came from Alabama, even though they Washington drafted them back to back years. So these guys, if it wasn't for, like I said, the defense was Washington's strong suit, and DaRon Payne was all over the field. John Allen all over the field. DaRon Payne had an interception this year, was responsible for a few sacks. John Allen responsible for a few sacks. They along with I was debating on this week how would I present the defensive ends, defensive tackles, and linebackers, because that front seven altogether was nasty. Like I said, the defensive end and defensive tackle, along with the linebackers, compose a front seven. A little teaching moment for you there. But I decided, like I said, I was going to break it position by position. So the defensive tackles, DaRon Payne was the one that stuck out to me. I know that people like John Allen, but I like what I saw from DaRon Payne. Like I said, he really didn't do much these last few years as a Washington football player, and I thought that this guy really should have left Washington, but to my surprise, he broke out this year in my opinion. Breakout player of the year. A really big surprise, one of the big surprises of this front seven or this defense. Another player, Tim Settle. And I'm going to tie in Tim Settle with Matt Ioannidis because Matt Ioannidis, last year, in the 3-13 year of 2019-2020, Matt Ioannidis was the defensive leader for Washington. Was the sack leader, had 8 sacks, was a monster in 2019-2020. And we expected him, now that he's going to be in a 4-3 defense, he would be even more impactful. However, he goes down, I think it was week 2 or week 3, with with an arm injury. So he is done for the year, and in comes Tim Settle. And Tim Settle, with the snaps that he was given, he's like Ryan Kerrigan. With the snaps that he was given, had back-to-back sacks from week, I want to say, 10 through 13. He had 5 sacks in 4 games. So his impact, they call him the Penguin because he did a penguin dance. So altogether, and also I'm going to tie in the linebackers as well. That's how I'm going to wrap up the front seven portion. The defensive tackles and defensive ends, with the rotation that they were given, because it was a lot of rotating, were deadly. And this is what I'm going to say throughout these videos. So the front seven was Washington's strong suit. And of course, the secondary, the cornerbacks, and the safeties, who I'm going to discuss later on in later segments, they were good, but they allowed a lot of big plays. But that front seven was huge, was big. DaRon Payne, John Allen, Tim Settle, and Matt Ioannidis before he got hurt, helped the defensive ends. If it wasn't Chase Young, Montez Sweat, or Ryan Kerrigan getting back there, getting sacks, or disrupting plays, it was DaRon Payne, John Allen, the Bama boys, Matt Ioannidis before he got hurt, and Tim Settle. So these guys had one great year. I'm excited for them in the future. Although, like I said, there's going to be guys that you've got to pay this next coming year. John Allen and DaRon Payne are guys that you're going to have to pay. I would like to see if Washington gives them contract extensions. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with Ron Rivera. Washington does have one of the best salary cap situations in the league right now. I'm going to break that down in later segments and later videos, possibly next week, because I'm going to be talking about free agency and the draft next week as well. So, what grade am I going to give the defensive tackles? The defensive tackles, funny enough, were responsible for sacking Tom Brady. So it wasn't the defensive ends; it was the defensive tackles that sacked Tom Brady. I think, and also, like I said, DaRon Payne broke out this year, had an interception in a game. So I'm gonna give the defensive tackles an A to an A plus. Let me know if you guys agree with this segment. I honestly thought that they played very well this year. That whole front seven was awesome this year. So, like I said, let me know what you guys think. And next up will be the linebackers.